Oh my gosh, you guys, I am back, and the lighting, I'm just fighting with it right now because it's still ridiculously dark in the UK for whatever reason, but hopefully this comes out okay. Hi guys, I'm back. So I have moved, and this is hence the different background that you can see. And I figured I'll do a makeup video. So today we're going to talk about the new Patrick Ta concealer. This is his Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer. I picked up the color medium golden 5. Now apologies, I don't have the box and the whole, to give you guys the whole aesthetic feel and everything, right? But I have been using this for a couple of days, few days, so I've got some pretty good thoughts on it, and we're just gonna get into it. Right now, the reason why I wanted to do this video was because I really struggled with picking a shade for myself when it came to this concealer. He's got about 25 colors in the range, pretty good, like, diverse range of colors, but I couldn't figure out if I wanted a skin tone shade or if I wanted something for brightening. Also, just FYI, if you hear any scurrying or noise in the back, those are my cats and they're just living their lives, you know what I mean? So for anybody who might be my foundation twin, I'll have the foundations that I typically wear listed in the description section below. Fenty, I'm a 370, 390, 370 in the wintertime, 390 in the summertime. MAC, I think I'm a girl, I haven't worn MAC for ages, so just discard that. But if you are a fan of the Patrick Ta Major Skin Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo, I am in the color Tan 2. I do also have Tan 3, which is the one that I use when it gets a little bit warmer, so towards summertime. But Tan 2 is my, like, perfect shade, or the kind of shade that I like to kind of get away with for winter, autumn winter type teas, right? So this is the color right there, and this is the one that I thought I was going to go for because my makeup aesthetic, I guess you can call it that, has kind of changed nowadays. So I like to wear makeup that looks close to my, I like to wear concealer that's close to my actual skin shade. That looks so deep on the inside of my wrist, but I promise you, when I blend it out, there you go, when I blend it out, it actually does look but close to my actual skin tone, as you guys can see, right? So I'm a big fan of this foundation, and I thought I was going to get a concealer that was going to closely mimic this color, you know, just because of how I like to wear my foundation and concealer products and stuff nowadays. However, cat's trying to get into my makeup. However, I actually decided to pick up a brightening shade, hence why I picked up this color, which is, what did I say it was again? Medium golden 5. So let me show you guys what that looks like as a swatch on the inside of my wrist. There. Now, surprisingly, I thought it was going to be a lot more brightening or a lot brighter than what it actually appears like. I picked mine up from Cult Beauty, which is where you can get Patrick Ta products here in the UK, and it actually does look pretty bright, like there. But by the time it's actually on the face, I thought it was gonna be brighter, but that's actually perfect for me, because the way that I've been wearing this is day-to-day foundation, day-to-day concealer, just pop a little bit on for a little bit of brightening and go, right? So that's basically what we're gonna do today. I have just got cleansed skin. Why do I always look like I have a spot over there? Anyway, cleansed skin, moisturizer, nothing else on. So I figured we might as well just do a full face, right? So let's start with the foundation, why not? Okay, I think I'm a little lopsided as well, but don't mind that. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys this as well. So this is a Morphe brush kit, makeup brush kit. I picked this up from Selfridges. Morphe now is also in Superdrug in the UK, in case you guys are interested. I have, of course, taken them out of the packaging because I've been well, I took them out to basically use them at some point, right? But you get 6 brushes, and they are travel size because I'm finding myself really enjoying the smaller size brushes, which is why I decided to go for this. And it's just got like a really nice array of brushes that you can use for your makeup. So we might end up going into this in this video. If not, you'll see it in another video pretty much. So like I mentioned, I'm using the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo in the color Tan 2. So, oh my gosh, my cat living his best life, trying to jump up on the windowsill, even though he knows I said no. So we're gonna go for a light diffusing of color today because I'm just at home and I just wanted to do the video for you guys. Anybody who is basically a shade reference, or uses me as a shade reference, right? So I'm just gonna do a light layer. I really love this foundation. It's a really nice versatile formula. You can get something that's super light, super easy, super breezy, super cover girl, you know, or you can go in and make it major, you know, which I'm sure is what he was going for, right? So, but I'm just going to do a light layer because one of the things that I really like about the concealer is the fact that it works so well for day-to-day, you know, just like your light makeup days, which is how I've been wearing my makeup predominantly. I haven't really been doing full face of anything pretty much. I've just been doing like really light, you know, going to run errands type makeup teas, right? So that's what the balm looks like. It just gives you this idea of really healthy looking skin. Also, don't mind my eyebrows looking a little jacked up because, like I said, I just wanted to do this video for you guys, so it's not exactly perfect or anything. So that's just kind of how we're going to leave the coverage. Let's get into the concealer, shall we? I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the packaging and whatnot. It looks like this, very sleek, very nicely done. They've got like the rose metallic finish, which is across his whole brand, which I'm a big fan of, which is kind of what always draws me into this concealer, right? So we're going to do one or two things. Patrick Ta has recommended that if you want more coverage, you're going to let it sit, right? So on this side, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like if you just let it sit. So typically I don't let my concealer sit because I never really do like a proper full concealer beat, you know what I mean? I usually have powders and stuff on the top, so I don't need that much coverage, or I don't usually use that much coverage. But I'll just show you what it looks like to develop it, right? And then on this side we're going to do a light layer because that's how I've actually been using it. I have been putting a little bit on and then almost immediately, because like I mentioned, I don't really need the coverage. Not that I don't really need the coverage, I mean sometimes I need the coverage, but I don't always go for coverage or full coverage, right? I blended out my fingers and I just think it looks so pretty. Now the benefit to doing it this way is the fact that you get to sheer it out, and even though it is a brightening shade, like you guys can see it is bright, using your fingers to sheer it out gives you the best like easygoing, just doing a little something kind of vibe to a brightening color, which is what I really like. So like I mentioned before, I was kind of going back and forth between, do I want a brightening shade or do I want a shade that matches my skin tone just so I can wear it like normally. But I'm glad I went for this brightening shade because like I said, when you use your fingers you can actually really sheer it out to make it look not as bright, but something a little bit lifted, just a little something, and I really like that. I really like that. So this is how I have been really enjoying wearing this concealer like this and just blending it out. Now you will get a little bit of luminosity. This is supposed to be a hydrating concealer, so if you've got dry skin, I feel like it will be quite good for you. I've got like, well, this winter weather has made me basically have dry skin, so that's why I feel like it looks nice and plump. But even when my skin goes back to normal and it's like not as dry, I feel like this will still be a very beautiful finish. So as you can see, if I move to the side a little bit, you're gonna get a little bit of that glow, which sometimes on camera I feel like isn't the most flattering. It can look kind of sweaty, but in real life it looks really pretty. It's just like you've got the most healthiest radiant skin, you know what I mean? So because there is a difference between makeup for real life and makeup for camera, it doesn't always translate the same. So using this method is the way to go for me for day-to-day life, which is basically how I've been using it, and I've been absolutely loving it. I just feel like it's phenomenal. Let's do a little bit more on the chin while this sits and go from there. Now I don't think there's like a, or it might be recommended. I think Patrick Ta says maybe let it sit for like a couple of minutes. The longest I've let it sit was about 10 minutes because I know it doesn't fully dry down. From watching other people's videos, they've said that it doesn't actually fully set or dry down. So you don't have to worry too tough about leaving it for a really long time. But like I said, I don't really typically go for coverage like that. So I never really need it to sit for that long. So this is what, 2-3 minutes now. Let me just take my foundation brush and like clean that up a little bit. Oh man, the cats are playing with the brushes. They're basically kittens. Sorry, I said mine, right? But so I moved and then I'm back with my cousin and he's got 3 cats. So they're basically mine. I don't know where I'm going at. They're mine now. But they're so curious. Give me 1 second. They're basically kittens. I keep calling them cats, but they're only like 2 years old. And they're curious about everything. And I usually don't let them into my bedroom. But they're just so cute. So they're in my bedroom sniffing everything and obviously having the time of their lives. Clearly. Yeah, anyway, now we can go ahead and blend this out. Now I didn't get the brush that Patrick Tar released with the concealer because once again I'm not really always into full coverage. So let's see if I can find another brush that might mimic the idea of full coverage the way he's done it. All right, maybe we can do it this way. I'm gonna use this is the Morphe eye packer applicator brush. This is one that came in that set, and I'm just gonna use that to kind of like lay on the pigment. The brush that Patrick Tar came out with, I believe, like, everybody loves it. So if you are a fan of having a full coverage type look when it comes to your concealers, that might be a very good way to go because a lot of people really enjoy that brush as well. So maybe check that out. And he does have really good brushes, actually. The brushes that I've had before from him have been really, really nice. So I'm just going to lightly blend this out. Now, what I really enjoy about this concealer as well is the fact that I've got a little bit of those, like, under-eye bumps. I'm sure everybody does, right? And it does not emphasize them. I recently tried the the new Charlotte Tilbury concealer. And I tried it in the color, I think it was 10.5. And I forget the name, I'll annotate it. And it was a very similar color to this, definitely on the golden side as well, definitely on the brightening side for the Charlotte Tilbury one. But where that formula was a bit more drying, it clung to the little bumps that I have under my eye, and I felt like it was just making them a little bit more obvious. So that's why I didn't actually opt for that one. And this one works a little bit better for me. So I think you can see where you've definitely, on this side, we've definitely been able to develop the coverage because it looks a little bit more than that one. I know you guys can probably see it. Like I said, this is me. This is how I've been wearing it on a day-to-day basis, and I absolutely love this. Big fan. But if you were doing, or if you want to go for more full coverage, or if you've got more discoloration and everything else, like, this is the way to go. So I don't really have anything else to say about this concealer apart from the fact that I absolutely adore it. Okay, I absolutely adore it. Now, if it wasn't such a close, like, finish to the balm, I probably will end up, I would have bought a shade that was close to my skin tone just so I could use it for correcting. But because I just love the foundation, I feel like I don't need to do that. But ooh, yeah. So this is the side, obviously, that we let sit for a few minutes. And that's what that looks like. It's still giving hydration. You can still see a bit of a sheen, which I really like. And then on this side, we've got the one that I blended out with my fingers. Do you know what I mean? Easy breezy cover girl. Huge fan, okay? So for any of you guys who were interested in this concealer and just wanted to know what it was like on my skin tone, anybody who's brown and stuff, like I said, I will leave my foundation shades down in the description section so you can kind of get a reference. This is what we're looking like, girl, and I'm a fan. So once again, this is medium golden 5, and I think this is the perfect brightening shade for me, and I'm really excited to keep on using this. Probably spring summertime, when my skin gets deeper, I could consider getting maybe tan 1 or something because I like it that much. But we'll see how it goes. So hopefully you have all enjoyed this video. Hopefully you are all keeping well and safe and all the good things. Okay. I will see you guys later on with another video. Bye.